All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Heat number one. Richard Young and Austin Edwards have the front row. Steven Seams, Brad Ronning on the second row. Patrick Pieper and Dean Buck have the third row. Ryan McDaniel and Andrew Thornton on the fourth. Brandon Murphy and Matt Moniak round out the top 10. Chance Maderick starts in 11th. Looks like Austin may have fixed his connection issue. He is on track. Everybody is out and begins. Austin trying to get a head start. He doesn't need it. Looks like Austin is going to go to the tail end of the field. So the front row will be Brad Ronning and Richard Young. Down the back straightaway, the pace car will pull. What is Ronning doing? I'm sorry, that is Richard Young that is going around. And here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air for heat number one. No idea what has just happened. Steven Seams and Brad Ronning side by side out front. Richard Young is scored as the leader. Patrick Pieper quickly moving up into third. Brad Ronning in fourth. Ryan McDaniel now on the move. Oh, we got a car around behind. It was Andrew Thornton. Looks like Richard Young gets involved with that. Patrick Pieper may come around and take the lead here. Oh, holy cow! Richard Young is still scored as the leader, but here comes Patrick Pieper. Pieper currently scored in second. Ryan McDaniel now in third. Austin Edwards has come from the back. He is up to fourth. Richard Young still has a very big lead, but Patrick Pieper is chipping away. And scoring is just updated, putting Richard Young back into eighth. So Patrick Pieper has the lead with 2 to go. Ryan McDaniel right on his back bumper though. Austin Edwards has made his way to third as white flag flies. And down into 3 and 4, Patrick Pieper will pull off the win in Heat 1. Ryan McDaniel coming home in second. Austin Edwards in third. Ryan has been on fire tonight. Here we go. Heat number 2. John Brancaccio and Becky Snodgrass on the front row. Ray Mullendor and Ed Sr. on the second. Brian Hewitt, Vern Spring have the third row. Nolan Perry, David Lux on the fourth. Scott Snodgrass and Edmund Jones round out the field. John Brancaccio did not take to the grid. So it'll be Becky Snodgrass and Ray Mullendor up front. Here they come. Out of turn 2, the pace car will drop in. Out of turn 4. And things are about to heat up here at Sobo. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. Mullendor out front, but Hewitt quickly, big run, out of 2, Hewitt to the lead. Chaos back behind. Ryan Hewitt, Nolan Perry on the breakaway. Ray Mullendor now in third. Edmund back in fourth. Ed Sr. is around hard. Brian Hewitt continues to lead. Nolan Perry on his bumper. Ed Sr. still stopped on track. Becky Snodgrass has towed it in, and now Nolan Perry getting into the bumper of Hewitt. They've got a 3-second lead on Edmund Jones and Vern Spring. Oh! Nolan and Brian get together. Brian goes around, Nolan saves it. Edmund Jones now to second, Vern Spring up to third. Nolan Perry's lead just over 3 seconds. He can take his pace down, be safe, and go from here. 2 laps to go for Nolan Perry. This will be Nolan's first heat win as long as he can make it to the checkers. White flag is in the air one more time around. Down the back straightaway, his lead growing, now 3.2 seconds, and out of turn 4, Nolan Perry wins heat 2. He gets his first ever Jones BS heat win. Well, with the utter craziness we saw in the heats, the feature is definitely going to be interesting. On to the consolation heat. Dean Buck, Ed Sr. have the front row. Matt Moniak and Ray Mullendor on the second row. Steven Seams and Becky Snodgrass on the third row. Brad Roning, David Lux on the fourth. Brandon Murphy and John Brancaccio round out the top 10. Richard Young starts in 11th. Ed Sr. had a lot of problems during that second heat. Can he keep her going, stay out of trouble, and get back to victory lane here? Track temperature still holding at 78 degrees, but I'd imagine the feature, the sun will be down, the lights will be up, the track will be cooler, and things will heat up on track. Dean Buck up front. And here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. They are away. Ed Sr. gets a big run into 1 and 2. Senior clears traffic going into 3. He has the lead. The battle is on between Seams and Moniak for 3rd. Seams takes 3rd, tries to take 2nd. Oh, some contact there between Buck and Moniak. Brad Ronning trying to get under Buck now as Moniak looking under Seams. Meanwhile, Ed Sr. an 8/10 of a second lead as the battle for 2nd continues. Moniak finally clears, takes 2nd. Seams now to 3rd, Dean Buck in 4th. Oh, David Lux is around. Ronning and Buck go around. Lux now up into 4th. 5 laps to go. Can Senior hold on to it? Moniak is closing the gap quickly. Seams back in 3rd as Lux closing in now as well. Moniak has a run under Senior. And Matt the Maniac takes the lead. 3 to go. A lot of guys starting to slide that right rear coming off the turns. Pushing the car to the limit. 2 laps to go. As the Maniac starts to open up a gap on Ed Sr. White flag is out for Matt Moniak. And down into 3 and 4, Matt Moniak will win the consolation heat. Ed Sr. comes home in 2nd. Steven Seams pulls off 3rd. And apparently nobody's brakes are working now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for all night long, the feature event here at Sobo. Chris Johnson and Richie Joplin have the front row, Patrick Pieper and Nolan Perry on the 2nd. Ryan McDaniel and Edmund Jones on the 3rd row, Austin Edwards, Vern Spring on the 4th, Chance Maderick and Scott Snodgrass round out the top 10. Andrew Thornton starting in 11th next to Brian Hewitt in 12th. Matt Moniak in 13th, Ed Sr. in 14th, Steven Seams 15th, David Lux starts in 16th. Brandon Murphy in 17th, Ray Mullendor in 18th. Richard Young in 19th and Dean Buck in 20th. Everybody stacked up, ready to go. It didn't get much darker. The track temperature has not changed. They get the 1 to green from Barney the Flagman. Into turn 3, pace car gets ready to drop in. He will have no problems getting to pit road, so he nails it there. And here they go, green flag is in the air. The feature event at South Boston is underway. Out of turn 2, down to turn 3. Austin Edwards on the move. Scott Snodgrass. Close calls coming out of 4. Everybody holds on. Matt Moniak apparently did not make the grid. He is rolling out of pit road now. Matt Moniak may be in trouble. He came into tonight second in points, just 16 points behind Edmund. Edmund currently running in 5th, Moniak back in 20th. Chris Johnson has the lead, Richie Joplin in 2nd, Pieper in 3rd, Nolan Perry in 4th, Edmund Jones in 5th. Vern Springs still holding on to 6th for the moment, but he has Austin Edwards on the bumper. Ryan McDaniel, Scott Snodgrass, and Chance Maderick round out the top 10. Steven Seams on the high side, battling with Ed Senior. Seams gets it done for the moment. Senior fights back on the bottom. Chris Johnson about a half-second lead over Richie. Pieper in 3rd, about 6/10 back. Edmund Jones in 4th, Nolan Perry in 5th. All the top 5 right there. Then Austin Edwards now in 6th, about a second back. He'll be there very, very quickly. Vern Spring, Ryan McDaniel, and Scott Snodgrass battling it out. Now Chance Maderick into that fight. Matt Moniak, currently a lap down, is hoping for an early caution to put him back into the fight here. He could be in trouble if they don't get a caution soon. As you look, you can see about 75% of this track is covered now as they stretch out. If they stretch out much more, Chris Johnson will be catching up to Matt Moniak at the tail end of the field. Scott Snodgrass has had a problem and towed pit road. Scott looked like he was already damaged on the right front, couldn't steer. Gets it down out of the racing surface and takes her in. See if we can see what happened with Scott. No, he just suddenly goes to the left. Unfortunately, he did not draw a caution, which means Moniak is still a lap down. Chris Johnson and Richie Joplin have checked out. Now Patrick Pieper under attack. Edmund Jones looks underneath. Nolan Perry. Oh! Nolan, Austin, and Edmund. Wow! That was a very close save. Watch this from the blimp. Austin gets in there. They get together. They clip Edmund. Everybody manages to save it, but Austin able to capitalize. Picks up 2 spots in 1 turn. And caution is out for the first time. See if we can see what happened. A 4-car battle going on. Ed Sr. Stevens. Oh! Ed Sr. gets turned around. Richard Young nowhere to go. Everybody else able to avoid it. First caution of the race. Chris Johnson and Richie Joplin had checked out, had a big lead. They did not want to see that caution, but the Maniac has been waved back to the lead lap, so he is back in the fight, but way back in 18th, he's got a lot of ground to cover. Patrick Pieper still has 3rd. Austin Edwards now to 4th. Edmund in 5th. Lights are out. They begin to stack back up. Here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Chris gets a perfect launch down into 1. Richie tries to attack back on the high side. Richie couldn't get there. Now Austin Edwards trying to go around Pieper up top. And caution is out back behind. Looks like Ray Muellendorf involved in this one. Ray coming down the back straightaway. Comes down across Moniac's nose. Gets turned around, but does get the car recovered and going again. One of the drivers up toward the front has got their car just pegged. See if we can dial up some in-car cameras. It's Chris Johnson. Apparently Chris trying to burn off some fuel here. Chris Johnson still out front, followed by Richie Joplin, but Austin Edwards now up into third, Pieper in fourth, Edmund Jones in fifth. Lights are out. They stack back up for the restart. That inside line just bumping their way around the track here. Here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Chris quickly trying to clear Richie Joplin. Richie fights back on top. There's been an incident, multi-car incident behind. Caution, back out. Brian Hewitt, Ed Sr., David Lux, and Matt Moniac involved. See if we can see what happens back behind. Looks like that inside line gets checked up toward the front and accordion's on back. Ed Sr., the only one that manages to avoid it. You gotta get everything you can get on the restart, but when mistakes are made, that is what happens. Chris Johnson has led so far. Richie keeps trying to make a move on the restart. Hasn't been able to get clear on the high side yet. Now with Austin Edwards up in the mix, that top five is just going to get closer, tighter, and definitely more interesting. The lights go out. They stack back up for the restart. Here they come. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Richie still can't get by, and caution is already back out. Richard Young involved. Richard Young sideways at the start-finish line. There's Richard back behind. They fire at the... Oh, Ed Sr. almost stopped. The drivers behind just know where to go. Will we see a quickie caution here? Nobody has gone to pit road. And will we see him go to a single file restart this time? Well, the lights are still on, so no quickie caution. Looks like one driver getting waved back around. Steven Seams gets waved around to get one of his laps back. Brian Hewitt is officially out of the race, as is Scott Snodgrass. Lights are out, and they will stack back up for the restart. All right, here we go once again. No, they have delayed the green. Lights go back out on the pace car. It's definitely been an interesting night of racing. There we go. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Everybody up to speed so far. No problems. Chris Johnson leads them down through 3 and 4. Austin Edwards now to second. Richie Joplin in third. The battle is on between Edmund and Patrick Pieper for fourth. Nolan Perry lurking right behind in sixth. Pieper stuck on that outside line. May lose more ground before. No, he's going to try and force his way down in, and he pulls it off. Oh, several cars around, including Pieper. Caution! Caution is out right at the halfway point. Two different incidents happened to bring this out. Ryan McDaniel toward the back, checks up, and Thornton gets into his bumper. Vern sends him around. Several cars go around, get stacked up. Just ahead of that, as we saw, Patrick Pieper gets a bump into the turn, gathers it up, gets bumped on exit, and goes around as well. Boy, the exit of 3 and 4 became a maze down the front stretch for the drivers back behind. Just past the halfway point here at South Boston. Chris Johnson still in control. However, he now has to contend with Austin Edwards. Richie Joplin right behind Edmund Jones in fourth. Chance Maderick has quietly made his way to fifth. Andrew Thornton in sixth. The Maniac now up into seventh. And Ray Mullendorf, what a comeback for him, up 10 spots into eighth. And they go single file and green flag back in the air. Ryan McDaniel quickly picking off. Ray Mullendorf moves up into seventh. Vern Spring having a problem. No caution. Nolan Perry is towed to pit road. See what happened with Vern. Oh, Vern gets down into one. Perry gets into his bumper, sends him around, and looks like Nolan just pulled the pit road. Chris Johnson still in the lead, but for how much longer? Austin on his bumper. Richie Joplin still in third, Edmund in fourth, Chance Maderick in fifth. Andrew Thornton now in sixth, Matt Moniak in seventh, Pieper in eighth, Ryan McDaniel in ninth, Ray Mullendorf in 10th. Dean Buck and Ed Sr. banging doors back behind. Senior finally gets clear up into 11th. Senior definitely having an up and down night here tonight. And Austin Edwards is starting to look for a pass, but he's also starting to blink again. His blinking smooths out, still holding on to second place. Chance Maderick starting to peek underneath Edmund. Couldn't get the run that time. Mullendorf has had a problem back behind, no caution yet. Mullendorf backwards on the backstretch. Ed Sr. catches Mullendorf, just gets into his left rear, sends him around. Muhlendorf couldn't get the car moving for quite some time due to traffic. Muhlendorf has towed it into pit road. The top three still all nose to tail and coming into lap traffic. Chris Johnson, Austin Edwards have broken away through the lap traffic. Pulled out about 0.6 of a second ahead of Richie. Edmund Jones, Chance Maderick closing back up on Richie Joplin. Austin still starting to peek underneath Chris Johnson. Every time he does, Richie pulls a little closer. Now they come through lap traffic again. And significant lap traffic ahead, and they are battling it out. Ed Sr. coming by Ryan. Oh, Ryan got the wall hard. Ryan McDaniel has had to tow. See what happened here with Ryan. Ed Sr. gets a run underneath. Ryan fights back into turn one, up on the high side. Just a little too high and smacks the heck out of the wall. Chris Johnson still has the lead. Austin in second. Richie Joplin has closed back up on him in third. Heavy lap traffic, and those lap cars are battling for position. This may not go well. Oh, Vern is around. The leader's caught up in it. Caution is out. 22 laps to go. Caution is back out. Ed Sr. up top, Vern down at the bottom. Vern pushes up across Senior's nose. The leaders just squeak through. Wow. Austin Edwards in that mess took the lead. Ryan McDaniel has lost his steering. Austin in the lead. Chris Johnson now back to second. Richie in third. Maderick in fourth. Dean Buck now up into fifth as Edmund Jones, Patrick Pieper, Matt Moniak, and Andrew Thornton come in. Looks like a few drivers taking some late race tire changes to see if they can make something happen. Be less than 20 laps to go when the green flag flies. Edmund Jones came off pit road in 6th, Matt Moniak 7th, Andrew Thornton in 8th, Patrick Pieper in 9th. They're all on fresh tires. Have a good night, Ryan. Everybody stacked back up, side by side. Well, they literally took side by side to heart up front. Here we go, pace car is in. Green flag back in the air, it's 15 to go at the line. Chris Johnson trying to stay with Austin. A wreck out of 2 back behind caution. Looks like several cars involved. Andrew Thornton, David Lux, Vern Spring, and Steven Seams. There's Thornton up top. Oh, Andrew gets loose. Collects Pieper. Ed Sr. gets into it. Thornton actually sticks the landing. I don't know how. Andrew Thornton and Ed Sr. both on pit road for repairs. Richard Young gets waved around, getting another one of his laps back. As lights go back out on the pace car, and it looks like it'll be 10 to go at the line. They stack back up side by side. Austin and Chris leaning on each other at the front. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. It'll be 10 to go at the line. Richie Joplin tried to dive under to take second. Couldn't get it. Oh, Chris got into Austin. Chris comes up, collects Richie. Caution is out.
Well, that'll shake it up a bit, don't you think, Doug?
I really hate it when you do that.
Oh, you should already know better. If I'm done and out of here and I have a couple more laps to talk about it with you, I will.
Well, let's take a quick look at what happened with Chris. And Chris came down, got into Austin, got him turned, but saved it, backed it up. Richie gets into him. Yep, Chris bounces off and collects cars into the wall. A rough end of the night for Chris.
Oh, absolutely. Good old elbows up short track racing here at South Boston, where the only thing hotter than the brakes is the tempers.
I'm quite sure some of the tempers are flaring right about now.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. It's actually been pretty mellow through the Discord chat so far tonight.
Wow. Given some of the stuff I've seen, I'm really surprised by that.
Yeah. Either that or everybody got really good at following rules and is not calling each other out over the radio.
Well, there is that, but given this group, do you really think they got good at following the rules?
And at least I can raise my hand and admit that I took myself out, and I hate that I ended Ed Senior's night and one or two others there.
Well, lights are back out as they get ready for the restart, and it looks like it's going to be right at 5 to go when the green drops. Will that be the last caution?
You know, it's anybody's guess, but if we get another yellow, just because I might be a little biased, I would love to see Eddie try to take a shot at Edwards to go for the win.
Well, it looks like they are extending this. Richard Young appears to have had a problem on the front straightaway.
Not supposed to park there.
No, you're really not. Lights are back out. It looks like they're going to go back single file this time. That may actually prevent some of the problems here tonight. It's definitely been a struggle for the drivers to get the power down and keep the car pointed the right way. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. It'll be 4 to go at the line. Does Edmund have anything left for Austin? Can Austin's connection hold up for another 3 laps?
Oh, he's going to try to run and hide like that connection's the last thing he's got to hang on to, though.
Matt Moniak has somehow came back and up into 3rd. I don't know what the heck happened there, but a great
I don't know who let him up
for
there.
him. Down the back straightaway this time. Austin coming through 3 and 4. We'll see the white flag this time one more time around. And he blinks. Oh, he came back. Ooh.
Oh, and uses Lux as a pick down the back straightaway. That's going to take Eddie's run away from him.
It definitely did, and it works to Austin's favor. Austin Edwards wins at Soho. Very close second for Edmund Jones, and somehow Moniak comes from a lap down to finish 3rd. Definitely a wild finish.
Yeah, he picked a bad time to go to the bathroom and get a chicken sandwich and missed the start and still finishes 3rd. I don't know who let him do that.
I do not know either, but maybe somebody should have aimed for him a little better.
I could have, but we did race each other clean in the mini stocks too.
Well, yeah, you were clean there. Let's see how he pulled that off. Matt. Try that again. Matt, you start the race late and still come home on the podium.
Dumb luck.
Dumb luck and avoiding a lot of chaos.
With 5 minutes of damage, all that kept me in that race at the end there was fresh tires. Eddie and I both pitted for him and took the gamble and kind of lucked out with some of the cars wrecking out, but I shouldn't have been on the podium.
Still managed to come home with a great finish, man. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
And let's see. Edmund comes home in 2nd. Andrew, you can talk to him.
All right, first question, Eddie. Why? Why would you let him win? You can't let part-timers come in here and make us look bad.
So, to be fair, he toggled on the cheats at the right time.
That I can believe, and he also, paid Lux to, be a pick on that last lap, because I was about to make a comment about how you had no testicular fortitude if you didn't send it into 3 and 4.
Going to. Trust me, I was going to, but...
Way to go, Lux.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, still another podium, another great finish. Congratulations.
Yeah, big thing, just getting in front of Moniac. So hopefully minimize points as much as possible. So thanks, Doug. Thank you for broadcasting. And thank you for all your service to all the veterans out there. We appreciate you guys.
And finally, our winner, Austin is there. All right. Austin, it got bumpy, but you still managed to pull it off.
Doug, I don't know what just happened. I was turning right, left, upside down on a circle track. I don't know how it gets that complicated, but I won it somehow.
Especially through the lap traffic late in that long green flag run, things got very exciting for you.
Yeah, the lap cars didn't really know where to go, high, low, because it seemed like a high line was becoming more prominent later in the race. But yeah, I was getting a little worried there at the beginning of the race. Didn't get the best starting spot. Couldn't really get past a few guys as fast as I wanted to, so had a big gap to the leaders and was trying to keep the tires on while closing a 3-second gap. But then the cautions came out and the calamity started, and Chris Johnson went upside down, and I won the race, which is a very familiar sight here. So.
That is definitely true, man. Great to see you back on track, and great win.
Thank you, Doug.
Andrew, do you have any final thoughts on that one, buddy?
Sobo's either great or it sucks. It just depends where you finished.
That is definitely the case here. This is one of those tracks that is just a living nightmare, depending on how well your night goes.
Oh yeah, and for example, my night is neutral. We did really good in the first race. Second race didn't quite go my way, but it was fun up till the end there.
Well, it definitely was, and another great night of racing. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope everybody had as much fun as we did. Don't forget to come back tomorrow after 9. Tomorrow afternoon, the Unicorn will be trucking, and you know she's going to cause somebody a headache. Have a great night, everybody.